So in video 1, you saw the importance and significance of, we ended at the node of significance of economics, and we understood that economics is important. It can help world become a better place. Why? Because of the prioritization. You saw that how individual like you and me use economics in our day to day life, how companies like Apple example I gave you. Something which I also wanted to add here is, what about our own country? Our country also have limited resources and they have to prioritize it. How much to give in education, how much to spend in different priorities which they have, like infrastructure, education, medical, then you have security. So and country uses this, our own country uses economics only to run the government properly. So similarly, the whole world thought leadership can also use economics and think about one thing, that how to end up the poverty, how to allocate how much of the resources which is scarce and limited to which kind of problem to solve, right? Well, this whole economics as a subject are divided into two part, and one part is called macroeconomics, another is called microeconomics. In macroeconomics, this is the branch of economics that studies and behavior of performance of an economy as a whole. So there is a history behind it. It used to be only economics, but then when Great Depression happened in 1939, 1929 in the US, that time economists realized that we need to observe certain numbers at country level, at economy level, to determine that at what stage the economy is, and for which they have to go and identify or make certain units, certain definitions, like what is the growth rate of the whole economy. So for that they have to probably invent GDP. So GDP is something which we will learn in last video as the economic indicators, but this is like the aggregate changes which is happening at the economy level. Economy means country level, right? So what is the job, unemployment rate, how many people are staying, how many percentage of people are not able to get job. Like this is a macroeconomic factor. It will tell you that if lot many people are not able to make job, they won't be able to spend. When they won't be able to spend, things will not move around. People who are manufacturing produce, they won't be able to sell produce, right? So macroeconomic talks about the aggregate changes in the economy as employment, growth rate, GDP, inflation, how expensive the debt is. So after 29, after 1929, the Great Depression, 1929 or 39, I'm just getting confused right now. But yeah, after the Great Depression, this macroeconomic concept came into the picture. And when, obviously this is just a brief of the economics class which I'm covering here in between a stock market class. What I wanted to tell you that these macroeconomics are only those economic indicators which you need to understand if you really want to track the market really well. So macroeconomics is another field of study within the economics. I'm not going to go into the detail of economic subject as such, because I just want, the purpose to include these classes is to make you familiar with these terms like what is GDP, what is inflation, what is the impact of it, what is the impact of unemployment rate. So we will discuss about that in the third video. And before that, let's also understand about the microeconomics part of the economics. So microeconomics is a branch of economics that studies the behavior of individuals and firms in making decisions regarding the allocation of scarce resources and the interactions among these individuals and firms, right? So when I give you the Apple company example observed the trend and behavior of individuals that they are more comfortable with phone, and they should have a very good super phone, smartphone, which have most of the feature what a laptop can have. They invented something like iPhone and become one of the biggest company in world, right? So microeconomic part of the economics talk about things which impact at the micro level, individual level, company's own policy level, right? And it is again important to understand the microeconomic factors as well. What could be the microeconomic factors? This could be supply and demand. So supply and demand of related or unrelated products. So let's say people use tea and coffee both as one of the beverage in India. Let's say the behavior at individual level starts shifting from drinking tea to coffee, then the tea industry will get impacted. So knowing about the microeconomic factors are equally important. So whatever are those factors on the both macro and micro side is something which we are going to cover in the next video in the same class. But to give you a summary, economics, as I said, is all about knowing our own society, the choices the society make based on the scarce resources they have. So knowing these factors are very important. However, to simplify this whole process of economics, we divided this subject into two part. One is called macroeconomics, another is microeconomics. For a person who want to relate stuff from my economics to stock market, he need to know at least these few economic indicators from both macro and micro side to assess the direction of the market, to assess the performance of a company, to assess that where exactly the consumer is shifting from one industry to another industry, or within one industry from one player to another player. And trust me, when you know these things, you will be able to use this information in your industry analysis, company qualitative analysis especially. So when you are going to do the qualitative analysis within 2-3 companies, that time you will see that microeconomics indicators has helped you understand the competition between two companies as well. Well, let's move to the next video and learn about some of the economic indicators, and that's where we will summarize this class. Thank you. Let's see in the next video.